What is going on, boys and girls? It's your boy UTA back with another video. I'm back with another episode of the TN Tackles podcast, the podcast where we talk football. We sometimes give you some bets and predictions, and we talk a lot of shy in between. I'm joined with the usual. It's been about 15 years, but how are we doing? Jaden and Ziggy.
We're back.
Doing all right? Yeah.
We're back and bigger than ever, boys.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one were what? Euro 2024. I don't know whether we want to go back there, but we were doing. We did the fantasy league, which we could do for next World Cup, which might be an idea. Have you boys done a fantasy team this year? Had a big start?
I have. I've had a terrible start. I had such a bad start. I used my wild card week 2, and
Wild card that early.
And everyone I took out week 3 scored.
Bagged.
Mateta, Bowen, Fernandez, everyone. I took everyone out. It was terrible. Huge mistake.
That usually means it's over, doesn't it?
Yeah.
App deleted. If you have a bad 3 week, usually I feel like it only lasts 2 months anyway. But if you have if you bottom after 3 weeks or even close, you're like, all right, I'm done.
The only way to win is to not play. Because I just rage quit after week 1 because I'll make a mad decision yeah, bro, I put Ronaldo up top, and then he just tags, and then it's over.
But
I didn't put Salah in my team every single week for the entire season, so now it's over. Great,
mate. That's exactly
fun game, bro.
Everyone just plays the same, especially if you're in middle, say after the first few weeks, and someone's at the top. If you're at the top, I feel like all you need to do is just either put them generic players in or copy the players below, and no one can catch you.
Yeah.
I think the draft mode, if you're doing it, the draft mode's way better.
I wouldn't mind a draft. Maybe after transfer window shut, maybe we can do a draft.
Yeah, maybe.
I think in general it's a better way for fantasy. I think the American football fantasy, the way it's set up is just so much better.
Yeah. Everyone just ends up with the same team in ours. It's like you can't do all.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't really want to talk about England, but it is the international break. I guess we'll do a little 2 minutes. Tuchel, are we winning the World Cup next year? Thoughts? Did anyone watch? I did. Andorra yesterday. I couldn't even tell you the scoreline. It was that typical England, isn't it? 2-0, 3-0, something like that.
I didn't watch it. I did see the goals come through. Own goal, fantastic. And then
fantastic.
So this is always an own goal, isn't it?
Always an own goal. And I forget Declan Rice. Rice and Anderson midfield might be nice, but I don't know.
Yeah. Bright sparks. Anderson looked good, doesn't he? Although, how many times do we fucking play Andorra, boys, as well? I feel like no one plays Andorra more than us.
I don't even know where Andorra is.
I think my dad went once. That's the only reason why I know it. He'd probably get in the team as well. Nah, shamble. World Cup. Do we have a chat? I mean, we've got so many. And you look at our team on paper, we talk about this all the time. We're so stacked. But I don't believe we can. Whoever's in charge, I don't believe we can get over that line. I think it's like a mentality thing.
It's really weird because all our youth teams are winning. And then winning the next one, retaining the championship, and then our men's team, full team, never works. And I can't put my finger on why. It's
Did you see that video with Owen? And he said the same thing.
Yeah. Wait, he was saying our youth players, they win all these youth competitions, and then they're in Liverpool and they never get a game. Then all these other guys in Portugal play 50, 100 games, men's league in Portugal. So they have all this experience behind them, and that's why they go on to win. So maybe
we end up spending 70 mil to bring them in.
70 mil to bring them in, and shipping our young guys off. Harvey Elliott is a good example, probably.
Yeah. I mean, he was meant to be a world beater. I thought he was decent every time he played for Liverpool as well, but he don't get in that squad, does he? Liverpool hasn't even got one English player, I don't think, in starting 11 now.
Really? I didn't think
that's interesting.
I don't Don't think so. Who starts as an England player? We've got Allison, Kirkes, Van Dijk, Kanate, Soberslai right back, McAllister, Verts, Gakpo. Yeah, none of them are English. Not one.
No.
Connor Bradley, but he don't get don't get in. He'll probably be shipped out soon as well.
Is he English or Northern Ireland? Northern Ireland.
Oh, is he Irish?
Yeah. So not even in
England.
England.
It's even worse.
That's even worse.
That's pretty
Hey,
much England, you know.
How are you liking your boy at right back? Your favourite?
Soberslai, I know. I'm telling everyone on stream, my boy. I've been telling everyone for years he can bang a free kick, man. I said when he went to Liverpool, I said he can bang a free kick, but he never promised he'll never get a chance over Trent. But from everyone was saying, oh, that's one of the best free kicks. I'm like, he's had a few of them.
Yeah.
For Hungary, for Leipzig. That's not even his best free kick. Never mind best free kick in Premier League or what people are chatting. But going back to Michael Owen, it's the first time I've heard him talk sense. He's been on fire recently. Have you seen him?
I'm not mind. I don't mind the recent one.
What's happened to him?
I don't know.
He used to be drab, and now he's coming out with just pure facts.
Let's hope that happens to the whole match of the day cast.
I think
Yeah,
I
get him
don't
on.
see.
Can't
Okay,
get any worse.
I have a theory here. I actually don't think he's gotten like any different. It's just that everyone around him has just like deteriorated and fallen off a cliff so bad that now he seems interesting to us. Like
Michael
punditry
Owen
has
theory.
gotten so poor. Like I've basically had to resort to just like turning off the commentary. Like the American people are awful. Actually, most of the time I watch it with Spanish commentary because it's like it's at least a little bit exciting.
Such a Ziggy move.
Bit of language learning, you know.
Two birds with one stone.
You know.
To be fair, it is. I remember watching World Cup when out in America, and because all the chefs that worked in the back, they were all like Ecuador or some like Spanish speaking countries. But you'd always hear it before their like stream would always be like 20 seconds before ours. So you'd be watching on TV, and then you just hear the Spanish commentators just go mad. You'd be like, well, you know something's coming. I don't know why. I don't know why the Spanish stream or the Spanish programs, they get like an extra couple of seconds. Who knows? So I guess we'll stick with Premier League. We'll do a little segment on your boys. I mean, we've got 3 teams here: Spurs, Leeds, United. 3 teams that are in the Premier League now. We no longer have to talk Championship. If not, it might be better. 2 teams that are fighting for relegation, and a Spurs that might be doing.
Who knows?
Wonders this season.
Nah, we're all fighting for relegation this season. It's all right.
Let's not lie to
That'd be a
ourselves.
serious battle, wouldn't it?
I'm liking Thomas Frank's team to start the season with. It's looking quite good. At the end, the transfer window wasn't embarrassing. It could have been embarrassing. You know, more Gibbs White, Eze, but Xavi Simons, I don't know how we say it. I like it. And he's cheaper than both, I think. So I think that's going to be a really good signing. Kudus looks unreal. And then R9 is back.
Didn't you just get called on Milani?
It might
be back to bench, you mean?
Yeah, R9's
back to the surgery
bench.
table.
Yeah. Well, I think we got Moani because Solanke's injury looks worse than anticipated. I think he might have to have surgery on his ankle or something. So I think that's a backup there.
That's a big miss, isn't it?
Yeah.
Seems to have played it well, though. Like, it seems like they played that down so they could bring someone else in. Whereas if everyone knew they needed a striker, it might be.
Yeah.
Expectations, though, what we saying? Frank's, I mean, a lot of change. Levy's left after spending some money, which is mad.
I know. Everyone's kind of looking at him with a bit of, not nostalgia, but saying he's left the club in a good way. I mean, the stadium's great, facility's great, but it's just that extra bit I've been saying for years. He only cares about the business decision. So pay 8 mil more for Eze, just get it done. That's like the winning mentality. I think hopefully we will go a bit stronger for players and actually get a title, proper one.
Do you really think like, because I don't think Eze is all that. I know he's like a lot of people really rate him highly, but his stats aren't that amazing. And I don't know. I don't think he's going to be as enough. Like personally, I think Arsenal again have managed to like go with absolutely bang average signings and are going to struggle. I don't see. Yeah, already there. Bro. Just like the first thing I did when we started the pod is I just googled Raheem Sterling stats. So we're all ready, dude.
Mate, he's leaving, isn't he? He's got Chelsea want to terminate his contract or something for 10 million, but they owe him 30 or something. They want to get rid.
Fuck yeah, no.
I mean, he's getting paid crazy money.
Yeah,
getting paid crazy money.
He's still one of the highest paid in league. And everyone that keeps saying, every time you turn on TV or whatever it is, there's pundits saying Arsenal this year. Arsenal never for me. And I don't think they've got, it's like England, you know what I mean? I don't think they've got that mentality. The only time they had a chance was when they got knocked out by Sporting in Europa League, dropped that one in. And then they just had to focus on the league for like 3 months while City were playing in every competition. Their style of play, like even the Liverpool game, and a lot of people talk about it, but like, they don't go to win games against these big teams, you know what I mean? They dick us 5-0, which is easy, you know what I mean? And then you got Liverpool and you don't even try. It's like, it's so negative.
It's really boring. I think
Southgate. Southgate.
The fans are losing. You know, they want to see their team beat the best teams, but Arteta steps up to get a draw and nick a goal and maybe win. So it's just boring to watch. Really boring to watch. And Gyökeres, I don't know. He looks really sluggish.
Looks like a fucking wardrobe, doesn't he? Jesus Christ. But he might back go. You know, if they're not playing to his strengths, and they haven't played with a striker for a while, I don't think. So it might take a while. Once Eze comes in, you know what I mean. You know what he can do with his delivery. But I still don't see it for Arsenal, and I think it's a kind of an ultimatum for Arteta. He's got to do something this season. There's not been a manager in world football in the last 10 years that's been backed and supported like Arteta. Money-wise and, you know, also time-wise at a club. You just don't see that nowadays. Fair play from backing him. He's changed the club around, but he's got to do something.
You win the Europa League and you get sacked. He's in a good position. He's lucky.
Yeah.
I feel like they just keep buying kind of like like solid players, but like not stars or
not worldies.
Yeah, not people who like move the needle. And I think that's really the problem. Like they needed to go out and like bag somebody big. Who would
you think? What kind of player are you looking? Do you think would play?
I think like they need goals, really.
Oh, Nana.
Yeah. Exactly, bro. You know it. Like,
sorry, they need goals.
No, but they do need they do need goals. Like, and Gyökeres, I was kind of nervous that United could go for him just because of the Sporting connection and Amorim, but I don't think he's going to do it. And like Saka doesn't have enough goals. Eze doesn't have enough goals.
I mean, maybe playing for a bit of a better team because he's playing for Palace, which difficult to score a lot.
I mean,
going to be playing a different position though, isn't he? He's going to have to play a lot of time for Palace. You've seen it, even for England. We saw him in that 10 role or that kind of midfield role of linking the two or being able to. Is he going to have that freedom for Arsenal? Like it's like that Grealish, isn't it? You know, them big players that it's easy to look good at.
I mean, that's exactly. But even that's a good example. Like, imagine if instead of Gyökeres and Eze, they'd got Grealish and Isaac. You'd be like, all right, Arsenal going to kick on this season. I just feel like they're still going to be in that. I actually think they're going to fall out of the top three this season. I think they'll come fourth, but I think they're going to drop off quite a lot because I think other teams have made bigger improvements, and I don't really think that I think they've just moved sideways. There's nothing that exciting about the changes they've made for me. But also, I am just an Arsenal hater at this point. Just hate watching them all the time. It's beautiful.
You think if they finish fourth, Arteta's out?
We're winning nothing else. Not even a community shield. Yeah.
I mean, I would be demanding if I was an Arsenal fan, but the delusion is real. Like, they genuinely think he's like Messiah. So
I think they're slowly changing. A lot of Arsenal fans that I spoke to are slowly now like, all right, we have to do something this year. Like you said, the money that they've spent, points that we made before, like they're kind of expecting it. So I feel like it might take slower for them to turn than everyone else looking in. But I feel like it is slowly turning, especially with performances like that where you're losing them games where you set up in a negative style, and it's like you can go at them. Especially that Liverpool game, you look at Liverpool got 3 wins, but in all games they could have not won that game. Bournemouth, it's like they look leaky at the back. So when I think Carragher made that point of like, it's one of the only times you can go to Liverpool and be like, we know these are look a little shaky at the back. Let's go give them something to play for, and they didn't. They just. That's that mentality that I'm talking about. Like, you don't win leagues with that mentality.
Yeah.
Whether you can get a draw from every big game and then beat all the small ones, but like, if you're going for a draw against your other rivals, it's not the mentality to win anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, for putting like back to back, like going on a run as well. Like, I mean, City haven't looked great, but I think at some point they'll just flip that switch again, and City will start putting back-to-back wins in, and they always try to kill the game off. Arsenal don't do anything. Like, even against United, it was like we looked better than them, and it was we're awful. We lost to Grimsby like week after. We're looking better than Arsenal, bro. Like, what?
Illegal players, though, bro. Illegal players.
Yeah, that's why we lost.
Running back.
Yeah. Can we talk about that penalty?
Bringing on prime.
Lose again, mate. If you run it back and you lose again. Sorry, Jay. What are you saying, mate?
Can we talk about that penalty shootout? I found it a bit strange. Sesko taking the 10th penalty for Onana.
He apparently had cramp. So
what, from sitting on bench?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't got any minutes. He's cramping up every time he stands up. I guess we can go on at United then, can't we, really? Because you look at that Arsenal game, I watched that Arsenal game and thought, fuck, here we go. They've flicked that switch. I feel like no European competitions, I expect them to be top 6 this year. Even just looking at that Arsenal performance, I know it's just one game. And then you go from that to Fulham and Grimsby, and you're like, nope, they haven't changed. No, it's changed. You've got that spark of a few new signings that gives them that initial lift, and then slowly they get sucked into whatever that negativity or club.
I think I'm actually pretty positive. I have no expectations of the season, but I'm pretty positive. Because even if we're not winning, it's actually been quite fun to watch. There is some like good creativity, and Boomer and Cunha have been pretty good, and it is more exciting to watch, like build up play and kind of fast transition and stuff. So I'm positive there. I think there's just like a lot of gaps in the team. I think defensively we're pretty struggling because kind of like running through random centre back pairings. I think when Martinez comes back, that'll affect things. But honestly, not having Onana in goal, I think, is going to be massive as well, because he's been absolutely awful. Like, he's just been absolutely dreadful. And then I think it depends on how Sesko does. Yeah, he's going to Trabzonspor. How do you say it? Trabzonspor. Yeah.
I feel like in the last pod we were talking about when Martinez comes back.
Every pod's like, yo, you're going to be good when Martinez comes back 5 years down the line. He's doing it. He makes a difference, but he's the same. He's like, he always seems to be out, but when he is in the team, I feel like in that system as well for Amarin, because he plays that free at the back. he's high. Whereas when you're playing a back two and he's smaller, that's how you can get at him really in air. But if he's playing like an outside left centre back, I think he's probably good for that system.
What is
Yeah,
what are the United? What's the United back three? Because I don't really know.
so like we started the season with Euro, Delict, and Heaven, which is pretty crazy because like Euro's still super young, Heaven is like super young, and then like Delict is solid, but it's not. There's not like a commanding leader in there for me, and pretty much the only person you got is Maguire, but he doesn't seem to get starting time. But yeah, I don't really know. I think actually he's been playing Shaw there at the left centre back as well, but I don't know. I think Shaw's kind of on the way out for me. I think he needs to be replaced, but keep him at a left back. But it doesn't like fill you with like confidence when you have that back three, especially when there's not really like a solid CDM. We kind of it seems Amorim doesn't really rate Ugarte. Mainu's he thinks Mainu's more of like a backup to Bruno, and then so what? We just play Casemiro basically every game.
I'm a bit baffled about not playing Mainu, to be honest, because he seemed it. I think it's quite clear that he's unsettled and wants game time, and he's not getting it. And you got Ugarte, like no one really fancies him. He's not really performed since he's joined. Casemiro's on the way out. Why don't you play Mainu? I don't get it.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't like him in like a defensive role, which I can understand because he doesn't cover. Like he's more a box to box, right? Like either an 8 or a 10. I mean, I feel like we've been having this issue for years of like no good sick player at the 6, and Ugarte for me is the best option we have, but Amorim doesn't seem to like him. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's difficult to. He seems to be playing like players he trusts the most as well, which for some reason is why Mount is getting loads of game time. But he's injured again now, so I guess we'll see someone else.
He's turning into Southgate, mate.
Everyone loves Mount. Bro. Everyone loves Mount except the people who have to watch him.
He's just not that level of player, and maybe that's what Amorim wants, just someone who'll put a shift in. There's a lot of United players that you look at them, you're like, they don't put a shift in. That's why I don't think. I mean, Bruno puts a shift in, but you can't play him in centre mid for me. I'm like, he's someone you want creating further forward, and you give him. He's someone that you can give him that freedom because he's good enough on his day, his quality to do something that can create something. Like you're saying, you're relying on him now playing further back to do defensive duties, and then it affects everyone else. And then keeper don't inspire any confidence either. It's like you're talking about the back line, but it's so different if you're playing in a back line and you've got a keeper behind you who's solid, like Arsenal. When you've got Raya in there who's going to pull a worldy save out every game, and that's all he needs to do. Whereas your keeper makes a howler every game, and then it don't matter how good they are, you think, I can't let him through. Whereas if you got a keeper, you're like, even if they get past me, I rely on him to do something.
I feel like we're permanently in this situation where we just have too many centre attacking midfielders. We've had this issue for like 10 years where like every time we buy midfielders, they're always attacking midfielders. Like,
but Man United sold all the wingers. Every single winger they sold them.
Yeah, well, most of them were shit, so neither are gone.
I think.
Glad we had a clear out. So
I think it's good that you had a clear out
for that. Really,
I think Garnacho for Chelsea is going to rip it up, and it's going to look really bad on United for not using him to his full potential.
I mean, Chelsea are opposite. They've signed about 40 wingers. You've got, you know what I mean?
If he gets a game,
Look at Chelsea. I'm like, fuck me. They've got injuries at the back. They need a new keeper, and they'll go and sign another wing. I'm like, does he get in? I'm like, I rate Garnacho. On his day, I think he can be. In a few years, he can be, arguably up there.
I think his attitude's awful though, and I think that's why. I think he's going to struggle now.
It's a United thing, though, isn't it? How many attitude we talk about this all the time, and like Even Rashford leaving, and he was shitting on it, saying there were too much change. I'm like, but you were part of the problem, mate. It's all right you coming out and blaming everything else, but you refusing or partying or doing whatever you were doing, not being a professional because you're on more than anyone else and you don't have that motivation to prove yourself, you're part of the problem. And you see it when players leave United, like Anthony goes to Betis and does well. Like these players that you feel like are bad eggs or they've got an attitude problem, then they go do well outside of United. The mad one for me though is you needed a keeper. You gone and bought a keeper and you took a punt again, a risk on another young keeper instead of getting Martinez, who thought he was going. I'm like, right now in this situation, I think surely if you just get a keeper, World Cup winner, he's a solid keeper. He's proven in the Premier League. Just get him in for this season, solidify everything. I feel it's a huge risk again to go for another keeper that nobody really knows, or he's a youngster that there's so much pressure on him and you don't know whether he can handle that. Martinez, you knew could handle the pressure. He's done it at the top.
I think I agree. It's a huge. Martinez would have, if he fits in that team quite well, I think, and he knows the Premier League. He gets it, and he's confident, so confident, and that's
and he's
kind
a
of
shit house as well. He suits Man
and
United.
He's a shit house. Yeah,
he riles everyone
he suits him.
Yeah, I do see. I see the point, but I feel like they are trying to build for the future and not do that anymore. Kind of like stopgap players, which I do kind of appreciate. I've heard that this Sene Lamens guy he's supposed to be like very highly rated, like by scouts. But I mean, what does that mean, really?
He's playing at Belgium League though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm like, how much
definitely
can we go from?
But the other thing though is like at least we have like Bayern is the better of the two keepers between him and Onana. Like Onana is just awful.
They're both awful.
They're both terrible.
They are both at this level Premier League keepers. But Onana went to a Champions League final winning. So you question: is it a Man United thing, or I'm like, because he had enough quality, or whether he had a seriously solid backline in front of him. The Italians focus on defence, don't they? But he obviously has some quality in him, but he looks a shambles.
Yeah,
I reckon you should have gone for Meslier.
Get out.
You can have him for free, mate, if you want him. We'll pay you to have him. Although our owners probably won't. But I'd pay you. I'd pay out my pocket. Yeah, I guess we could move on to Leeds if you want. I'm interested to see your boys' opinion. You boys in the Prem, champions last year, balanced the books. We had to sell 150 mils worth of players. Frustrating to then come up and then get outspent by Burnley and Sunderland when, and you can make the argument of money don't matter as long as you make the right signings, but I've got a lot to say, which people on my stream know. I think we're in trouble. I think we're playing a risky game with all these injury players that we brought in. We spent 15 million on attackers, and that's a left winger who's had 6 injuries last season. 2 free agents up top in Calvert-Lewin and Nemeka, again, injury prone.
Yeah.
Don't know how many games. They played a handful of games together in the last couple of years. I think it's very risky, the game we're playing. And it's sad, to be fair, because I think the owners have come out and said they wanted to sell the club in 3 to 5 years. And it's like the owner even came out in interviews saying we've got a load of business to do, a load of money to spend, and we did not really. In terms of attacking players, we got arguably, and take them injury players out, a worse attacking line than we did in Championship. I guess for you boys, what's your thoughts on what you've seen from Leeds so far? You think we're going to struggle? You think you don't mind it?
To be honest, I haven't had a chance to see them. They're not even featuring on Match of the Day. So.
Only when we get shafted 5-0.
I don't know, man. It's a bit strange. Your owner's saying they want to sell the club in 3 to 5 years. I'm not sure that builds confidence at all. Maybe you go, I don't know. And the business you've done, I think probably the worst in the in the league, like transfer wise. I don't know. I can't think of another team. I was speaking to my AC Milan mate, Okafor. That's where he came from, right?
Yeah.
Not all that.
No. And that's why they've let him go for 15 million.
Is it 15 million? Yeah. He even said 15 million is a good deal for AC Milan. So I think you're kind of desperate in the end. Calvert-Lewin for free. Did I hear right that he said he turned down opportunities for Champions League teams to join leagues?
Apparently so.
I can't believe that. Maybe it was Man United, but it can't be Man United. Who was it?
Champions League, yeah. Maybe Arsenal.
Maybe Arsenal.
The thing with Calvert-Lewin, I'm all for it, because you can tell even when you're watching him that he's come on, even his movement, he's that next level up, and it's not a lot to go off because we've had fucking Bamford for the last 3 years. The only question with him is if he can stay fit. If he's fit, he can get in a lot of Premier League sides. He's a good goal scorer, but he can't stay. There's a reason he's a free agent. Is because he can't stay fucking fit.
Yeah.
So it's like, why we're in this situation now? If we come back and Calvert-Lewin's injured, apparently Nemeka might have a knock as well. So another injury-prone striker that's out. I'm like, we've signed 2 free agents that injury-prone. Okafor's out already. So it's like, we've signed 3 attacking players, 2 free agents and 1 for 15 mil. And we brought Jack Harrison back, and then we didn't buy Solomon from Spurs, and we let Ramazani go, 2 of the most exciting and most potential players last season in the Championship. I just think we're asking for trouble. And the fact that your manager comes out and says, we need more signings, otherwise we're in trouble, and then we don't make any more signings, says a lot.
It even says a lot, you guys going for Solomon, who's been injured the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, that should have been done. He was one of the best players in the Championship. He's been injured, but he scored the winning goal to get his champions to come up. So he's like, he had that kind of that legacy growing, and he was clearly a good enough quality to be in the Prem. We could have brought him in. Spurs didn't want him for 12, 15 at the start of the window, and then build from there. The fact that we didn't, and then we maybe went back. Did he go to Palace in the end? I can't wait for him to score against us, send us down.
At least you get the parachute payments. Maybe that's what you're aiming for. Classic Burnley, up, down, up.
That's a thing when you look at Leeds. So we're not a club. You look at Leeds as a Premier League side. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant. But for a Man United, for the Spurs, for the Chelsea, you prefer Leeds being in the league than a Norwich, than a Burnley. Then we've got rivalries with everyone. Even if you hate us, you prefer kind of Leeds. We're a big club with history.
Legacy team, for sure.
How have we been outspent by Burnley? And Sunderland has spent nearly 200 mil. I'm like, we sold 150 mils worth of players to balance the books. I get that. We had to do that. But you tell me we couldn't do that as well? Give it a go, boys. Give it a go.
See, I'm worried for you.
I don't know. On paper, I don't think the team's that bad. Like, I think you have some good pieces. But...
It's just the attack's championship. If Calvert-Lewin can stay fit, I think he's one that really can help you stay up. If he can grab, anywhere close to 15 goals or whatever. But there's no supply. You've got Jack Harrison, Dan James. Nonto's not been great. They're all championship players. They're all subs that you bring on in the last 10 minutes. None of them are real Premier League quality starters, in my opinion. And that Okafor, we haven't seen much, but does he seem any different? Sorry, I'll let you boys talk. Anyway, I could go on for days.
No, I know what you mean, but I think you have enough pieces to survive. The problem is obviously the league is very competitive, but I think that there are other teams that are gonna struggle more. And I don't think it's that terrible. I think you probably will have to try and buy someone in January, but I guess that depends. Do you think if the results start to be bad, the owners will fire Daniel?
I don't think you can at this. I think a lot of discussions before, and it was like, well, you either sack him before you start the league, or you stay with him, because we saw it in the past where we sat managers and then you end up going down. So I think if you back him, which you haven't really backed him in transfer window, I think there's now a little view among the Leeds fans that actually it isn't his fault. You know what I mean? If we don't do great, and like he's come out and said in an interview, that's all you can do. Say we need more signings. So I think like who else are you going to bring in really? Big Sam again for if you get caught in a relegation battle. But I think the goal is if we can somehow be above that relegation zone in January, like you said, then maybe you can bring someone in. But if you're in that relegation zone in January, who wants to come? Then you put all the clauses in of none of them. If you go down, you've got to let them go. And that's what happened last time. That's why we had to balance the books, because you had all these players that you had to let go on loan, Aronson and Christensen, because they're all on Prem wages and none of them want to be in Championship. So it's like, then now was our chance, I think, in this window to really just think, fuck it, let's give it a go. But also, with our history, maybe that's why, that's why we got fucked. We went down to League One because we spent money, we didn't get European football, and then our Champions League football, and then that's where it all declined in the past. So then maybe they're like, let's try survive with what we have.
Who do you think is the true relegation for the teams? Who do you think is going to be there?
For me,
in the last few months,
Brentford have got to be up there. I think Paul Kelleher has been done dirty. He came in, Frank and Burmo, Wissa, everyone there, and then a week later, there's no captain, there's no manager, there's no. I think they should be around there. I don't know. Wolves, Burnley, I think are down for me. I know whatever you've seen from the last thing. I just think the mentality and the way Scott Parker plays football, I don't think they stay up. So I'm hoping it's just like one spot that if we can.
I agree. I agree with you actually. Wolves and Brentford, I would worry about. Maybe Fulham. I don't know.
They did make a little bit of business on last day, didn't they? But they ain't signed anyone either.
Yeah. Fulham, I'm a bit worried about. Well, I would be worried about them. And then I think all three promoted teams have a chance, always, to go back down.
Yeah.
Even though they look good right now, 3 games in. So, I don't know. And Sunderland, they did a lot of business, but they lost what's his name? Gay? From Chelsea, recalled him, the striker.
After that whole Jackson
scenario. It was an entertaining transfer window, not gonna lie.
If you're a Sunderland fan, you've got to be buzzing right now, because you've got 2 wins. No one's talking about that. Everyone talks about all top 6 teams, but no one's giving them credit. They won 2 out of 3 games. They spent a lot of money. What I think with Sunderland is they're doing like what Forest did a few years ago. You know, when they signed like 40 players and then they just scraped up, and now they're in Europe. It's like, because financial fair play don't come in until 3 years later, I think they're like, fuck it, let's spend a lot of money. If there is repercussions, I don't know what the books are like. They'll get them in 3 years' time, which they might be in the Championship, so it don't matter. Yeah. Or if they're in the Premier League, they might be established enough that a points deduction then isn't a crazy, like we saw with Everton and Forest. It didn't fuck them over because it came at the right time for them. Or they can somehow spend, I don't know how they can spend that amount of money and we can't. That's the frustrating thing as a Leeds fan, especially when we finished champions. We sold 150 mils worth of players. I'm like, how are they going through in the playoffs and then spending nearly 200 mil on players?
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
Do you think the financial fair play system needs to be looked at? Because all those teams, outside the top 6, they kind of can't really get into that band because they're a bit limited in what they can do. It's Villa, Newcastle, all those teams around that area, they've been trying to push up, but they can't get there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it seems a bit systematic, to be honest. I don't know your guys' views on that.
I honestly think that the financial fair play is like hurting smaller teams more than it's helping them, because ultimately the big teams are just buying whoever they want anyway, doing stuff to work around it, whether that's doing payments over 5 years, doing loan deals, doing this or that, or just doing 115 charges or whatever. Like everyone's just taking the piss, really. And so if anything, it's like, yeah, like Everton got hit with points deduction when City are just doing whatever they want. This doesn't make any sense, really. I think at this point, you got to fix them, or just like take the shackles off and let people just spend. I don't really think it's actually helping. If anything, it's just kind of like this weird kind of like socialism for the top six teams where they were just like sharing the money, and kind of like you can see that they want a franchise so bad, like that they want to just like turn into an American model. And I think it's just slowly drifting that way. I think it will happen eventually. I genuinely do, because I just it's just getting more corrupt and more about like influence and politics than I think it's ever been. But yeah, that's just my general take.
Yeah, it keeps the divide, doesn't it?
It does keep the divide.
It makes it, like you said, near impossible. You see, at Villa, I'm like, you look at that team under Emery, what they achieved, and then the fact that they can't go out and spend out, they must be gutted. And now they've had a terrible start to the season. For that reason, you need fresh faces, you need better quality, especially when you're playing European football. I don't think it's fair. Really. It's easy to crack down on them, the smaller teams, like you're saying, Everton, Forest. Oh, we'll give them a points deduction for that 3-year period. But just because the bigger teams have got more that we have to look into, we're never going to give them a points deduction. I think that's going back to Leeds, and that's probably what they're wary about, is that if you are a team coming up, you know you're going to be the first one to be reprimanded, aren't you? You're going to be the first one to get... they're going to be locking down on you if you ever step out of line.
I think we're going to see a lot more teams follow the Chelsea model, because the cash flow is really important, because, like you said, you can separate over 5 years, and then when you sell a player, it's instant money in. So I think we're going to see a lot of players just doing the rounds again and again and again and again. I'm not sure I want to see that, to be honest. It's going to be a bit... I don't know. I want to see some teams solidified and not having to buy and sell players constantly just to make ends meet and stay within the financial fair play.
What do you think of Chelsea? Are Chelsea back? Are they... Because for me, it's like what you're saying, like, but they're not buying any elite players. It's like there's this constant revolving door of all these youngsters that have a lot of potential, and they're getting the money back for even Jackson, that they might get 70 mil back from Bayern Munich next year or whatever. It's like you say, it's a business model, but are they ever going to break into that elite again? Because with the players that they've got, investing so much into the youth, all them younger talents, sometimes you need them established world beaters that are going to get you over the line. I think it seems like Chelsea are just happy maybe being around there, just keeping it ticking over.
I disagree. I think Chelsea could... I think Chelsea are back. I think all they
competing for the league back. I don't know, they'll be up there. Champions
I think they'll
League.
be top three. I think they'll be... Yeah. I think for me, it's Liverpool, City, Chelsea are the contenders now. I think all you really need is one or two players around Cole Palmer to turn it up, and then you're going to see a different Chelsea. I think they have... I think that there's someone there that will turn it on. I don't know necessarily who, but I feel like they have enough pieces that... It's always weird. It must be difficult being a Chelsea manager, though, because you are just juggling like 200 people. Like, it's like running an NFL team, just like subbing people out left, right, center. But I think if they find like a good core, I think they could go far. I think they have enough pieces, and they have star power.
Their midfield, I think, is pretty set, but the defense and the keeper, I would be, if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be like, why are we not got a keeper? Why have Man City gone and got Donnarumma, and we've still got Sanchez in goal?
And then spent 50 mil on Garnacho with a couple of days left. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The business doesn't make sense for a team that's really trying to compete. I think they know they're going to be. Chelsea are like the best of the rest for me.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be. They've kind of established themselves. I think they're always going to be around third, fourth, fifth, sixth for probably years to come, maybe, unless there's a serious slip up. But that's what I'm saying. Are they investing in these elite players that they're actually showing that they want to compete for the Premier League, or do they believe these youngsters will?
I feel like Delap will kick on, and I think that will be the piece that changes things. I think you got Delap and Palmer. And they're both like playing top level. I think that's it. That's all they need. Yeah, I know the keeper's a bit of an issue, but it's not like it's Onana, Come
on. And we're back around.
So I guess, we can say with Chelsea and go on to our favourite subject, everyone's favourite subject, VAR. How bad for that decision? Did you see the Chelsea Fulham? Did you see that decision?
I saw that decision, and I see Fulham put that goal in their goal of the month on their website.
Shafted, man. How's it getting worse? How is the officiating getting worse?
I don't think they keep apologising, but how many times do they need to apologise without changing how they do things?
Changing the people behind it. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
That's what I'm saying. It works. How many times we said it? I'm like, it's all right in the Champions League. It's all right. It works in the World Cups and the Euros and other leagues. It's not as bad. We only have so many problems in the Premier League. And you know why? Because the people sat behind the fucking desk are the ones in control of it. This thing in a system by itself, the offsides, yes, but the ones making the decisions and overruling it, it's the people sat behind that. Change them fucking, they're the ones. It might work if you got some fucking unbiased referees.
It's been a shambles for years, and it's probably only gotten worse. So something needs to change. I don't know, Howard Webb. When he talks, he seems okay, but then the product's not good enough at all.
Yeah, I just don't understand how it's this bad. Like other leagues, especially as other leagues have kind of this kind of expectation that some of the refs are going to be corrupt, and we supposedly don't have that, but we just have terrible refs who can't do shit. I just don't understand at all, like how some of them are so easy as well. Like it's not complicated decisions that they just absolutely mess up so badly, and I don't even really know like where to go. I think you've got to go with like automated VAR as much as possible, so take it out of like the refs' opinions. But you can't really do that on fouls. So I don't know how we get to a place where, but by default, it's anytime they go to a review, it's getting awarded. The ref on the field basically is just like there just to announce it now. Like there's no, they're never deciding. I don't think I've seen a ref go to the screen, watch a thing, and then be like, nah, actually, I don't agree.
I'm right.
Yeah, I think I've seen it like once. So like, what are we even doing? It's just like, it's just like theater, really. Like they just, it doesn't actually help us or do anything useful for anybody, and it's still just like killing enjoyment in the game. So I feel like something has to be done because it's getting pretty rough.
I mean, who's who's in charge of the PGMOL? Like, who is the? Is it the? It must be the Premier League that has the decision on what happens. So I don't. It needs to be a change from the top down, I think. At this point, I'm sick of talking about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's just there's always some
How is it
kind
in
of
the
bias.
Championship?
Like,
How is it in the Championship, Jake?
the
More enjoyable to
Championship,
watch?
but you have them. I mean, we had 3 offside goals last year that were onside by a mile, and it were the same linesman that gave all 3 offsides that were a goal. So there's them. So I think having English officials in English games, a lot of people, for me, whether they are aware of it or not, have a favourite or a bias towards one team or another. Me as a Leeds fan, you know what I mean? I'm a Leeds fan, but if you put me managing a Man U against whoever game, you know what I mean? I might subconsciously throw a couple decisions the other way because I don't like Man U. You know what I mean? I feel like every English person has, with the big teams or the big leagues, every English person has a preference on teams that they don't like, and previous experiences as well. If they've had a bad experience with the fans or players, it kind of like comes into it. Like referees now, they're giving that spotlight to make it about them, whereas referees before, it used to be like, it's about the game. Whereas it's their opportunity to kind of get their name.
So what do you think? We should have foreign referees come in and referee our games.
Can't be any worse, can it? Can't be any worse.
We've got foreign managers, foreign players. Why not foreign referees?
Yeah. There you go. Let's see how it is. Try the difference. You know what I mean? If you think bring a couple in, let's see how they do, and then you think, oh, they're all right. Let's check them all out.
I'd enjoy like listening to like VAR decision making if none of them speak the same language.
Just an Italian, a German, and a Frenchman.
Some guy speaking Arabic to an Italian. And he's like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. It's a goal, I guess. But to be honest, though, it genuinely does feel like if you just flipped a coin, you'd be more accurate than refs' decisions right now.
But some of them are howlers. You know what I mean? Some of them are like, I'm like, how can 3 professional referees that are getting paid? I don't know how much they're getting paid. They're probably the most highest paid refs in the world, surely. Premier League refs are probably on more than anyone else in the world.
Gotta be.
How are this standard? How is 3 of you looking at it and thinking that Chelsea Fulham one, or even the one at Liverpool Bournemouth? There's so many decisions already. I'm like, how are 3 of you looking at this and coming to a decision that this is, you know, when 95% of the footballing world is like, how someone that hasn't done that referee training, that isn't paid to be a referee, is it our understanding of the rules that they're so vague, or I don't understand. It's just it ruins the game though. You're ruining it, man. You're ruining it. It just ruins the game. Especially coming from the Championship. I've not really had it yet because we haven't scored a goal bar a penalty, which people are saying to be. But when you score, you know what I mean? You don't know whether to celebrate or not.
So don't worry, you won't have that issue this
year. Not often. We need a few more pennies at this rate.
After that 0-0 Newcastle thriller. Oh, I watched like.
Hey, take a 0-0, put a shift in. Take that any day of the week. Big result. That 4 points from 3 games. Love that. Anyway, Premier League winners. Who are we saying?
I think Liverpool are favourites, especially with the transfers they've got over the line. They just look so strong, and they don't seem to be. They're pushing on. They're just pushing on. So, and even when the right backs are out, Szoboszlai slots in, and not just the free kick. I mean, the whole game he had a great.
He's been well, hasn't he? At right.
Yeah, he's better than Trent. So, I don't know. It seems Liverpool are strong favourites.
Do you think? If they would have got Gueye in, that was strange. I didn't get over the line. I'd have been like, yeah. I mean, I still think Liverpool, to be honest with you. If they'd definitely got Gueye in, I'd been like, yeah, they look set. They've fix that kind of defensive frailties. They've got Isaac in up top. Another rant though, just before we go on to yours, Ziggy. I'm so sick of the transfer window going 2 weeks into the league and then you have international break. You know what I mean? If you're Liverpool, you spent 130 mil on Isaac. He's come in and then next week he goes away for Sweden. What if he gets injured now for a year? I can't understand how the transfer window doesn't shut at the start of the season.
I think, didn't they try that? And then the Prem was the only league that shut at the start. And then for those 2 weeks, Prem got picked off.
Oh, because because of other players.
Yeah,
so why. I think they did try it, and then they were like, no, back.
Everyone's got to do it.
I think the issue is just don't have the internationals 3 weeks into the fucking season. No one likes it.
Yeah, no one gives a.
No one. It's so bad.
Who cares about England and Andorra? And if you got yeah. Sorry, Ziggy. So, who are you saying? Liverpool? Is a United fan? I think maybe.
Yeah, I think somehow they've managed to improve their front line over the last couple of years, which is kind of insane because the amount of changes you've had really is pretty insane. But yeah, Isaac and Verts, I think it's solid. I think they're going to win. Yeah, I don't see. Money, haven't they? Yeah, I don't see them. Especially, I think Salah's going to continue to have a great season. It's just going to be more of the same. I think they're the baseline to beat, basically. So then I think it really depends if City can kind of get some continuity together.
Is City the competition?
I think so, Arsenal? Yeah. Arsenal just there's no. You just think every time it gets to crunch time, anytime there's okay, this is a game we have to win, you just expect them to go out and park the bus for 90 minutes. Because they do it in games where you don't have to win. They'll do that against everybody. So it's well, yeah, you're just going to get wrecked at some point because you're just playing try not to lose 24/7. And yeah, I just don't think Arsenal can. I think Arsenal are not better than they were.
If you're coming up against that, how are the set pieces are so good. When you look at them, Rice 9 times out of 10 puts it on an absolute dime. I'm but how, if you're up against them, surely that's drilled everywhere. I don't understand how they can keep scoring the same sort of set pieces week in, week out, and it changes the game for them. That's what they rely on it kind of.
They're just massive as well. They got a good set piece take. They got a few good set piece takers, and they're just fucking giants. So I don't know. We said it before. How do they keep scoring these set pieces?
No one figures it out.
And again and again.
I think a lot of teams are getting smaller as well. If you look at United, there's no tall defenders except for Maguire, and he doesn't even play. You got everyone's tiny. Everyone's United is tiny, but a lot of the teams are like that nowadays. Anyway,
not us. We've signed about 7 BFGs.
Yeah, I mean we got
who are taking corners.
Massive, but
6'4" stack, and he's on fucking corners. Get him in the box. I don't care how good a ball he whips in. He's got to be in the box.
That's like Kane taking corners for England. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Nah, he's best on corners. Get him out of the.
Come on, he's still
for goals.
He's still tearing it up in Bundesliga. It's crazy.
Yeah. I saw a debate earlier, wasn't it? And they were saying, Owen was saying he never understood why he went. He could have stayed and been Premier League top scorer. And he said winning the league, the Bundesliga in Germany is like winning the league with Celtic. It's not they win it so much, it's not a big deal.
Look at you quoting Michael Owen constantly in this pod.
Mate, I know. I'm just going to get a picture of that back for next.
To be honest, what I think, would have been a good move, unfortunately, but Kane to Man United makes so much sense. Instead of moving to Bayern.
I forgot Ziggy's Kane vendetta.
But I forget who you bought that season. But it was
Kane
like
to Al Ali. Come on.
I think
Everyone wants to see him in the Saudi Super League.
he's got the same
Come on.
games to goals ratio and Bayern, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is, Matt. Like, you've still got to respect it. Like, yeah, it's they're the best in the
you
league
don't.
by a long way. But
Hey, I'm going to call it right now. Kane's going to move to United after Bayern and get Golden Boot or some crazy stuff like that. And you're going to be eating your words, Ziggy.
He's got to retire soon, surely.
he's not actually that old, you know. I was thinking
He's
that.
not
I don't
old.
think he's that old. Let me have a look. You
He's
think
not that
he's
old.
like fucking 36?
I think
But
he's
he ain't.
32, 33 or something.
Yeah, I'm like, he's in his prime. He's got a few
32,
good years
yeah.
left.
Is he 32?
He's 32. Like that. When
That's
you think
ridiculous.
about it, that is ridiculous.
That is. I always
means-
imagine him the same age as Lewandowski, but he's not.
Because I always think I'm like, maybe I'm like, has he got another Euros or World Cup in him? And he's like 30 years old.
I think it's just how he looks. Doesn't help that.
Yeah, I mean, he don't really. If we're talking FIFA, he should have about 35 pace, shouldn't he? Just stand there. But he's class. He is class, but.
I've just seen an article. This sums up my feelings on Harry Kane. This is his brutal assessment after the England game. Harry Kane as inspirational as pesto pasta on a Sunday.
Who's that? Is that your burner account?
Yeah, it's me, yeah. Quote. No, it's I think it was an Observer article or something. But yeah. Says it all, doesn't it, really? I don't need to say anything else to that.
So what are you having today, Ziggy? On Sunday? Pesto pasta?
Yeah, you know.
Pesto pasta all around.
I'll have some nice Bayern curry first.
So expectation for you, boy. Spurs, where you predicting finish? United, where you predicting the finish?
I'm going to let Ziggy start.
I think we'll be all right. I think we might come sixth.
You take sixth.
I think we'll. I think we'll turn it around a little bit after there's some like continuity, and I think players kind of gelling a little bit. Hopefully, new keeper's good. We'll see. We've got rid of a lot of kind of issues in our squad, so I think that's good. And I think once the kind of players gel a bit more, I think it will. I think we'll be all right. I don't think it's going to be anything special, but I think we'll scrape like Europa or Conference League or something. What do I think of Spurs? I think Spurs are all right. I think Spurs will do all right this season. I think they'll probably be like up there too.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll fight for that Champions League spot.
Yeah, probably.
I think Liverpool, Chelsea, City are kind of almost set. Then it's Arsenal, Spurs,
Arsenal for fourth spot.
Yeah, and then I think United a bit below that. I don't see them turning it around fully to compete for the Champions League. But I don't know, like all those teams that were doing well last year, I'm not sure they're going to do as well this year. Like Newcastle, Villa, Forest, Brighton. I don't think they're going to have as good a season as they did last season.
Like you're saying, it's hard to be when you're not allowed to spend that money or really invest. It's hard to stay at them levels when you've got more competition.
And when your best players are just getting picked off, you know, like.
Yeah. I think Newcastle, they should never be in a situation where, even last season I'm talking about, we've got to sell Guimaraes to balance the books and Isaac. And I'm like, they should never be in a situation where really they have to, if anything, they should be able to keep them players and then slowly add to that team, you know what I mean? They should never be really in a situation where they have to get rid of the best players who they've really just brought in. I don't think like Eddie Howe's really spent a ton of money there. He spent some big money. Tonali, Guimaraes and Isaac. But outside of that, is there any crazy money getting spent? I don't know.
What do you think of Newcastle?
Dan Burn. Starting
All
for
the money
England, by
on
the way.
Tampa. Yeah.
Starting for England, which is a bit crazy. They brought in Ramsdale, didn't they? Ramsdale. They haven't. Botman, a little bit of big money.
He's a
Ramsdale's
big
still on
lad,
the
him.
bench.
I didn't. He's like same size Dan Burn, isn't he?
He's huge.
I didn't realise until we played him. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy at centre back? Who's him and Dan Burn? And Dan Burn's playing left back. I'm like, there's no way you're beating these lads, in it.
They're just preparing for the Arsenal game. That's it.
That's going to be a tactical set piece battle.
Ah,
I
they
think
brought-
Eddie Howe deserves Eddie Howe, mate. As if the opportunity ever comes for Eddie Howe to be England manager,
Yeah,
he's when you talk about English managers, you've not got many, like you say, with all the foreign managers in the Premier League. He's top tier for an Englishman. He's as top as they get, really.
yeah. I
For me.
think it would have made sense for him to go after Southgate. I think that's the natural progression for an English manager, but I think he still wants. He's got unfinished business at Newcastle, and I'm looking through the team now. Half their team is English in Newcastle as well. They've got a lot of English players, and they just signed Jacob Ramsey, which might be a good purchase this year.
Yeah, we've got a lot of young
Yeah.
players.
And Elanga as well.
Elanga's
Elanga.
rapid, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's quick.
He is quick. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel for Newcastle a little bit. And Eddie Howe, you know what I mean? If you're a manager and going in there, he turned them round and then it meant the richest club in the world and you're not allowed to spend any money and you got to let your best players go. Like, this has been a farce with Isaac. And there's a lot more going on now with players like forcing moves, and I feel like it never used to be a thing years ago. It was like you just played your contract.
I think that's
It was a club more that forced them out.
It's made it really difficult for a lot of teams to do business because, I mean, that's been the issue with United selling players is that all the players have been like, I want this one club and I don't want to go anywhere else. So then, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, Garnacho was like, I only want Chelsea. Okay, so you basically have to sell him at whatever price Chelsea want to pay. Anthony was like, I only want Betis, so you got to do that. Like, what? Anana was like, I only want Trabzonspor or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I only want Grimsby.
Yeah.
Anana was like, I want to get out of it. Where the fuck can you get me?
Yeah, anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm looking at Newcastle's team still, and they can do a 4-4-2 full English team.
Yeah.
They got 5 English keepers.
Might as well just bring Tuchel in. Just get him in training. 4-4-2. Newcastle side is the English side.
That'd be easy for internationals. You just match the team.
Same team, innit?
Same manager, same team.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So transfer-wise, who do you think's had the best window? I know we talked about Leeds. It's one of the worst. You boys must be happy with the business your teams have done. I think... Is there anyone that stands out? Though, by Liverpool, I know. They're the ones that they've filled everything. They've done everything they needed to do. Who else has really... Because it feels like a lot of teams have struggled this year. A lot of teams had more than ever had business to do on deadline day or late on. It usually seems majority's got the team kind of set, but it seems so many clubs nowadays this season had a lot to do still.
I mean, Sunderland did well for sure. They got a lot of good players in. Spurs, I'm happy enough with what we've done. The only thing is centre backs. You know, both are kind of injury prone, and then the replacements Danso and Dragusin, I'm not sure, to be honest. And then obviously Archie Gray, but I don't want to see him play there. We also let that 17-year-old centre back go. We signed him last year and loaned him out, and apparently he wanted first team games, and obviously they couldn't guarantee, so he's gone to Hamburg. But he's one to watch. I forget his name, but for last season, for a centre back, he got like 8 assists and 6 goals at centre back.
Big lad set pieces as well.
Yeah. But Kudus is really good business. Xavi Simons, good business. I think they've strengthened the team a lot. Kudus looks
Who's
unreal.
your favourite?
How
Who's your
much did you
favourite
get for
signing?
Kudus? How much did you get for Kudus?
I think about 50 mil, wasn't it?
50 mil?
55, something like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favourite signing out of everyone?
Isak.
No, I mean for
Wait,
Spurs. For
for
Spurs.
Spurs? I'm most excited about Xavi Simons,
Yeah, it's one that we haven't really seen yet, haven't it?
but I do like well, both him and Kudus. Kudus is he's quite fun to watch. After losing Son, that's the only downside. I mean, he wasn't performing so well last year, but he's a bit of a legend still. But watching Kudus play is unreal. Like he's electric.
On his day, he's red hot, isn't he?
Yeah,
He is
he
red
really
hot.
is. He really is. But for Man United, I would say Cunha looks very, very good. He's
Exciting, isn't he? Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Burmo as well. To be fair, they both look like they're up for it.
Bomo's looked pretty solid. Honestly, like my highlights from the transfer window are the outs, because I really didn't think we were gonna. I know that's fucked to say, but like I really didn't think we were
sad.
gonna.
What a disappointment.
Well, Leeds' highlight of the window is the new chippy van they got outside. So Ellen Road. Yeah.
Don't go to bed just yet because we're bringing out a new fucking tracksuit on deadline
Yeah,
day.
exactly. Yeah.
That's it.
Jesus.
No, but the outs have been massive because I think there were so many players who were just like
Dead. Well, yeah, you need to
just
get
hanging around and just like so washed as well. Like, come on, man, you need to go. And I'm so glad we got rid of Rashford. Hopefully Sancho's going as well. But just all these like pieces that just weren't good enough. Bad attitudes.
Sancho end up at Villa or not?
Still talking about it, but I don't really know.
I think he's at Villa.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
One like a joke. I saw like someone who clips a headline saying Sancho at Villa, and then he said he thought he was going into Love Island, not signing for Aston Villa. When they said you're going in at Villa,
that's some real Ted Lasso stuff.
Yeah, he'd suit it though, wouldn't he?
He would.
What do you think about Sesko? I haven't ever really watched him outside of like internationals.
Yeah, Euros.
He solid in Euros, but like I don't know.
Is he not? They don't want to put him in so early. I don't understand why he hasn't really.
He said he wasn't fit. He didn't.
Right.
He didn't train like at all preseason, so he was like trying to give him time to adjust a bit and not like throw him in deep end. But
do you not think it could be like similar? When you sign up for it, it's a similar Hoyland situation. You got this young lad with a lot of hype, and I think you can say Sesko is more.
It's more proven,
established,
sure.
more established.
Yeah.
Like you say, he's done it on a European stage, and I don't know. It smells kind of the same for me, but I guess time will tell. I think Amarin is, everyone's slating him in the system, and you can look at the record. But for me, I think if you do back him, you give him that time, and you can implement that system, and I think there is something there. What about you for? You think Amarin's under pressure? He's getting slated a bit for still sticking to the system, and you think if another season goes by, if you don't get sixth, you think he could be on his way out in summer?
I don't think so. I think he'll get at least this year plus probably next. I don't think unless it's horrendous this year, maybe there'll be something different. But I think in general, most United fans are sick of changing managers, and I think that's why Ten Hag got such a long play towards the end, where he still had support really till very late into his kind of time there, because people were just so sick of player power we went through every type of manager possible. It didn't change anything. Basically, we reverted to the exact same, regardless of who was managing. So for me, I think you just got to back him and stick with him. Also, like, who are you going to get? There's no managers out there. Like, the manager pool seems to be like
Ten Hag's free again.
Oh yeah, he got fired up for 2 games. It's crazy.
The fact that you do him from United, just we really backed him. We give him so much time at Leverkusen. Like, fuck that. Give him literally 2 games. Mate, they were 3-1 up against Werder Bremen, or I think it was Werder Bremen. Again, who had 10 men, then it ended 3-3, and I thought, nah, let's get rid of him. Bear in mind, they've lost all their best players as well. Wirtz,
yeah,
Frimpong,
they sold everyone.
Lost Xabi Alonso. I'm like, fuck me. I'm like, how bad? I know they didn't win in the first 2 games, but it seems very premature.
They even lost Xhaka. Fucking hell.
He seems like a decent signing, doesn't he? A bit of experience. Something like that could.
I'm here to hate.
Yeah,
he's my most hated player. He's my Harry Kane.
Yeah, why?
I just can't wait for him to be captain and only get a yellow card after he's made 15 fouls. It's just constant for Arsenal. And then he scores a fucking goal from 35 yards, deflected goal, and all the Arsenal fans are like, he's the best player in the world. Look at that. Fuck that. Scores 3 deflected goals and he's a long shot taker.
He's a god. That's Arsenal fans for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, boys. I think we've covered pretty much most of what we could cover. We're going to try probably do a pod maybe every couple of weeks or whenever we can squeeze one in, so it shouldn't be another 15 years before we do the next one. But cheers for joining us always. If you did like it, boys, please like, subscribe, comment, share all the good stuff we do. We are now on TikTok and Spotify as well as YouTube, and I do personal streams like cards and retro footy stuff over on Whatnot daily if you do want to check that out. But yeah, that is it for this one, and we'll catch you next time.